Top 3 questions I get asked on this channel. What does the Amazon Relay load board look like? How do I book loads? And when I book those loads, how do I stay so local? These are the relay rates for Tuesday, April 9th.
Let's get into those SoCal relay rates.
All right, you ready to do some load board watching with me? As always, chapters in this. Gonna look at recommended up front, then 23, then 26. We'll check out blocks, see if there are any, take a look at spot capacity, and this week's winner is, pick city is Vacaville for 𝕍𝕒𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚 and then we'll pick next time's winner. So Vacaville is gonna be the pick city this week. Let's go ahead and jump into this with the recommended loads. Allow for them to access my location. I have unlocked early access, so if there are, in theory, we'll be seeing the best of the best loads, in theory. Hasn't really made a huge difference in 2024, but right now they're recommending to me San Diego, 3 total stops, total of 4, or 1 pick, 3 stops, total of 4, 352 a mile ending up in Eastvale. San Diego, 1 pick, 2 stops, total of 3, 266 ending up in Eastvale. Let's see where that middle stop is. They've got you going to DUR9 is Temecula, taking a loaded trailer up to Temecula. That little filled in circle means it's a loaded trailer. And then from Temecula to Eastvale is going to be taking an empty. So let's see, DSD4, new location in town. Recently filmed some content. You'll see that one. You'll see this video before you see that one. But I was at DSD4 the other night. I like it a lot. It's replacing the old DSD3 here in town, and it's a huge improvement in my opinion. Starting there, ending in Eastvale 398. Let's see if there's any 26-foot loads that they're recommending to me. These are all 53 container. Going up to Moreno Valley. They typically will pay a little bit more to move those containers than they will the regular trailers. Let's see, no 26. So let's go ahead and jump into San Diego. Not going to spend a bunch of time here because I know the purpose of this is to check out that Vacaville. So let's see here, San Diego Otay power only. What I'm liking about this, there's 39 results. That's good news to me. I mean, most of 2024, there's been like 2 or 3 results. So I like that the numbers are coming back. That little lock there next to this one, that means that this is one that's available to those who have early access. San 3 ending up in Redlands, 374 a mile, 475 payout. It is almost betting a loaded trailer. Yep, loaded trailer heading up there. So if I wanted to do that in about 40 minutes from now, that's available to me. Here's San Diego to Paris, 293 a mile. Let's just look at this. I like to look at this by price per distance highest. Turn that auto refresh off. So yeah, that one that's locked right now is technically their highest load on the board, 374, 359 a mile going up to Moreno Valley. San 5 to San 3, 83.3 miles. I can tell you the middle stop is DSD1 up in Carmel Mountain, 331 a mile. Here's this 89-mile one that for sure is Poway. Going to start from Otay, go to DSD8. Let's just see if I'm right. Yeah, DSD8, and then return the empty back down to Otay. So, I mean, decent rates, 327 a mile, 323. But I mean, that's typical of Amazon when it's kind of like average. I mean, it's not great. It's kind of like the Goldilocks. It's not too good. It's not too bad. It's just right, kind of in the middle there. So let's look at box trucks. SD box truck. And let's do the same thing. Sort this by price per distance highest. All right, so 418 a mile, 1 pick, 3 stops, total of 4, ending in Bonita, 418 a mile. San Diego ending in San Diego, 383 a mile. San Diego to Bonita, 357 a mile. That's on Friday at 3:40 in the morning. Let's just get an idea where they have you stopping. They have you picking up at San 5, going to Chula Vista, betting that's a post office, going to 𝕍𝕒𝕚𝕝𝕝𝕝, betting that's a post office, and then going to Bonita, betting that's a post office. So that's a pretty standard. How many loads were on here total? Yeah, 51. That's a huge improvement. I mean, a month ago at this time, there were none. There were some days where I'd look at 26 and there were just no orders on there. So, I mean, that's a definite improvement. The only thing we're lacking is I like to see those crazy rates drop. I mean, I haven't seen any $7, $8 a mile loads lately. So I like it when those rates come up. Let's take a look at blocks. I have a save search in here for SoCal blocks. Now these have been absent for there was not a single block around here for at least all through January, all through February. Let's just see SoCal blocks. There we go. There are only 3 ONT to ONT. So what a block is, I've made prior content on it. I'll put a link to it. It basically, they're saying it's 1 day, 13 hours. That's 37 hours. It's 2 14-hour days of driving. That gets you up to 26 hours. Where the other 11 hours come from is they give you an 11-hour break for you to take your 10-hour rest there. They're going to pay you $15.75 total plus 48.5 cents for every mile they ask you to drive. If blocks are your thing, they're on here again. That's good news. The problem with it is that 48.5 cents a mile on a truck like mine, I'm actually losing money every mile they ask me to run. Now I know that 48.5 cents a mile isn't meant to cover fuel. It's supposed to be like a surcharge to cover some of it, but I mean, it doesn't take too long to figure out that on a truck like mine, for every mile they ask me to drive, if they're paying me 48.5 cents, I'm probably losing about 20 to 25 cents just in diesel. So in order for me to do a block, this price would probably have to be closer to like $2,100 in order for it to make sense for me. But you know, if you want to do it for 15, they're on there for 15. Let's check out that spot capacity. Got a bunch of this lately. 4:21 in the morning. Here was LGB8 going to a third-party site, Lowe's, ending up in Tennessee, 2,004 miles for a payout of 3792.74. Keep in mind, this is your one and only chance to negotiate a higher rate. Shuttle request at 3:04. They were looking for a shuttle driver at DF09 American Canyon. They're offering 70 an hour. This is my area. DSD5 is Vista going to Eastvale. Last night they had one 83, well basically 84 miles. They were offering 400. At midnight exactly, they had one in here, Sand 5 to DSD8 is Poway to Sand 3. They were offering 320 miles. Let's just compare that spot offer to what, because I saw one of those on their board here. What was that? I always like to compare, like, what are they offering in spot versus what are they offering on their load board. They had a Poway one. Where was it? Oh yeah, I had that sorted by price per distance highest. I thought it was like the 3rd or 4th one down. Yeah, so here we go. This Sand 5, this one here, is going to DSD8 and then returning. So this is the same load. On their load board, they're offering it for $273. Over on spot capacity, they're offering it for $320. So would they even go higher? You got to respond back to it and find out, but it never hurts to respond back to these. Get on their radar. And then let's see, yesterday they were looking for HSD2 to ONT9 to Arizona to San Diego to Phoenix. That's confusing. HSD2 to Ontario to Arizona. They're saying it's only 430 miles. I don't know how you're going to get from Ontario to... Oh, Ontario, I get it. Ontario to San Diego to Phoenix. So 430 miles, their offer was $12.24. Keep in mind, this is all Amazon relay spot capacity. I put it in the last relay rates. They started sending these out from Amazon brokerage shuttles. New email address to keep track of if you want to hear from them. All their other stuff come from that one email. They started sending out shuttle hostler requests from this new email address. That's roc-brokerage-shuttles@amazon.com. So if you're interested in those shuttle shifts, be sure and add that email into your VIP. But shuttle requests, let's see, 253. They needed somebody down at Sand 3. They're saying 70 an hour. I will say they're trying to come down on that price a little bit. I don't want to get too far in the weeds on this, but I mean, I have historically always done it for $100 an hour. I pretty much would only do it for $100 an hour. I look at like time, fuel, and labor. And as far as like, you know, it's high in labor, low in fuel, but also high in time. If you gave me 10 hours in the load board, and you know, the whole advantage of doing that is you don't spend a lot of fuel, but if you gave me 10 hours of driving with just the load board, I could make the same $1,000 just running loads for them. And it's like, I know that there was one of these on here that they were trying to offer 65 an hour, and it's like there's I can only see, yeah, it was this one, 65 an hour. So you know, you figure they started at 100, they're down to 65. If they can get it for that, and that seems like a good deal for you, absolutely take it. But you know, for me, I would, if you give me those same 10 hours in the load board, I can make more than $650 100% of the time. So just kind of interesting to see them come down on price. And then let's see here, this was a weird one. I usually don't get spot capacity for Las Vegas. I think this was sent to me by mistake, but LAS1 needed a shuttle hostler. They're offering 70 an hour over there. I would try to negotiate that. They needed one driver for 10 hours. So just something to keep in mind. let's do what we came here to do, which is look at that pick city of the week, which is Vacaville. That was for 𝕍𝕒𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚. Hopefully I'm close on that. 𝕍𝕒𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚. Wanted Vacaville, so let's do it. Vacaville. Let's change this around. I'm going to base this out of Otay because that's going to include everything, and then we're going to change that to Vacaville, California. Vacaville, California. And 75 miles around there. I mean, just, you know, this is for 53-foot equipment. Let's just see, like 50 miles around there has 210 results. 25 miles around Vacaville has 22 results. So, I mean, you can see that, I mean, 75 is kind of my standard. With 75 miles, there's 321 results. Let's sort that by price per distance highest. Take a look at a couple of these. Here's Tracy, starting in Tracy, ending in Stockton, going from Tracy to Stockton. Stop 2 is Stockton, stop 3 is Stockton. The fact that stop 2 says Stockton and doesn't say an Amazon acronym like TCY5, that tells me that's probably a third-party site. $6.26 a mile, 193 payout. This is probably the same thing. Let's just see if these are all, yeah, stopping in Stockton. So these are all the same thing. Here's Sacramento, 1 pick, 4 stops for a total of 5, 202.47. I'm gonna have to continue this in a moment. We got people down at the pool with me. All right, change of venue. People showed up at the park with their kids. They have more right to be there than I do. I don't like putting people unwittingly into my videos, so I went ahead and left. They stressed, oh, you can stay, you can stay. It's like, I can't do that. So we're in the car now. Not as pretty as the pool. So I looked at those price per distance highest ones. Let's take a look at, let's do this by start date nearest, because that's going to give us an indication too of like what do things pay right now. Here's Sacramento, big trip, 1 pick, 1 stop, ending up in Park City, Kansas. They're offering $171 a mile on that, $2,875, but you're making that at $171 a mile. Here's one Oakley down my way to Rialto, $173 a mile. Another big one going to that Park City, Kansas. This was $171. That other one was $171. Let's look for some decent money that leaves soon here. I mean, let's just go through these. $255, I guess, would be okay. Sacramento to Spokane, Washington leaves in about 30 minutes at 7:41 tonight. $255 a mile. Stockton to Troutdale, Oregon, $251 a mile. That also leaves at 7:41 tonight. Is there anything, like, I always look for, like, what's above $3 a mile here that leaves soon? $1.74, $1.53, so nothing really pressing. What would be interesting? Oh, okay, here we go. So here's tonight at 9:05, San Pablo ending in Vacaville. I think we saw this on the price per distance highest. This was the DSF8 San Pablo ending up in, so that's off of Atlas Road in San Pablo, ending up on Midway Road in Vacaville. So that's a decent one. That's, you know, it's only a $200 payout, but you string together, you know, 3 to 5 of those over a night, and it's like, there's your $1,000 a day. Here's one, Tracy, California, ending up at San 5. So this starts in Tracy. Keep in mind, it's only $1.61 a mile. Stops in Newark, and then ends up down here at San 5 in my neck of the woods. In case 53-foot isn't what they were looking for, let's also look at Vacaville for box trucks. Let's change this around and do box trucks. All box trucks, which could include 26 or 16-foot ones, and apply that. And first thing I like to do on this is just look at the load. So within 75 miles, there's 120 results. Let's really dial that down to like within 25 miles, there's still 80. So, I mean, that's pretty significant that there's 80 loads within 25 miles. Let's just, I kind of like to expand that out. What does 75 give us? 75 gives us 120. Let's do that by price per distance highest. And top money, Vacaville ending in Vacaville. I love it when that happens. This is starting at SMF5, going to this 2635 Napa Street in Vallejo. I'm willing to bet that's a post office. 600 Kentucky Street in Fairfield. Willing to bet that's a post office. And then ending up back on 200 Prairie Court in Vacaville. Willing to bet that's a post office. They're offering that at $4.75 a mile. That actually leaves tonight at $11.20. Here's another Vacaville going to $4.02 a mile, $657 payout, 6 total stops. Starts at SMF5, so that SMF5 is probably like a big player up there. That's probably like our Sand 5 or Sand 3 down here. Going to San Rafael, going to Rohnert Park, to Occidental, California, to Bodega Bay, California, and then ending up in the Sea Ranch. Never heard of the Sea Ranch. Here's Vacaville going to San Francisco, $3.64 a mile. 1 pick, 4 stops, total of 5. Starts at that SMF5 again. Goes to Walnut Creek, over to San Francisco, and then to Powell Street in San Francisco. No idea what the bridge tolls cost for commercial vehicles. No idea there. It's always one of those things I've kind of wanted to figure out. SMF5 ending up in Albion, 337. Let's see here, 1 pick, total of 6 stops. Starts at that SMF5 again, goes to Petaluma, California, to Santa Rosa, California, to Gualala, California, Point Area, California, and then ending up in Albion. These are all price per distance. Let's just see here, start date nearest, just to get an idea of like, so this isn't bad. I mean, Vacaville to Carson, is that Carson, LA? Carson City, Nevada. I get messed up on some of those. Vacaville going to Carson, Nevada, $3.11 a mile, $6.09 payout. That starts in, let's see, 22:30, 10:30. That's probably about 3 hours from now. That Vacaville to Vacaville, that one also starts at 11:20 tonight. So unlike other areas, like I will say in San Diego, when I look at box trucks, the great rates, they usually have them out like 2 to 3 days out in advance. I like that these are more starting sooner, so it's kind of like gives you a little bit more flexibility as far as like, you know, do I want to fill in my schedule with what today? This one right here, Tracy, that little lock means that this is only available to people with early access. Let's just see what this one is. $4.03 a mile, $2.88 payout. Starts at Tracy at TCY5. And Tracy heads over to Livermore and ends up in Brentwood. So that is that early access. And then, let's see, starting at 2 in the morning, they have Vacaville, $3.53 a mile, $7.54 payout, 5 stops for a total of 6. Starts at that same SMF5, goes to Olympic Drive in Clear Lake, California, Kellysville, California, heads over to Lakeport, to Upper Lake, California, to Covelo, California, and then that's where it ends. Yeah, so that's both 53 and 26 for Vacaville. Let's pick next time's winner. Let's see here. I have a spreadsheet. If you want to end up, so I can now take off number 7. We did that today, so let's delete that cell. So now I have 1 through 10 names. If you want your name to end up on this list and would like for me to cover this in long format, just let me know in the comments, but please treat me like I'm stupid. Say, hey, I want to see this in long format. If you send me a comment that says San Diego 26 foot, I'm going to think you want a load board video, and that's what I'm going to make. So just make it as easy for me as possible. So I need 1 of 10 numbers that we're going to pick. Let's head over to a random number generator. I need a number. It defaults to 1 in 10. Let's just be sure that's right. And 10, generate number 8. Number 8 is Eddie Perez, Boston. We're doing that one next.